Biden's job approval rating sits at 44% in this final NBC News poll. By the way, all-time low with independents. His approval rating is just 28%. And let me put this in context for you. What does a job rating mean? Some people believe it's the single most important indicator to understand where a midterm election is going. Bill Clinton's 44% job approval rating translated into a 54-seat loss for his party. A 45% job approval rating for President Obama in 2010 translated to 63 lost House seats. 46% for President Trump, 40 House seat loss for his party. So what will 44% give us? And here's, to me, the number you probably ought to care about the most in this poll. The state of the U.S. economy. 81% tell us they're dissatisfied. This is the second highest number we've ever recorded. The last time it was this high was just before the 2010 election. And you know how that one went. All right, the generic congressional ballot here. We have it dead even, 47-47. It's a slight uptick for the Republicans from 2 weeks ago when it was 47-46. Here's something to keep in mind. Essentially, a tie race probably gives the Republicans the 5 or 6 seats they need. For every percentage point that they lead the Democrats, that's probably anywhere from another 5 to 10 seats that would be added to their total. Just something to watch for on election night. All right, this is key, and this is something that should make Democrats relieved this weekend. Interest in this election, enthusiasm. Democrats have now matched the Republicans dead even. In 2018, they had a slight lead. And of course, the Democrats had the better night. But let me go inside the numbers and why there's still some warning signs here for the Democrats. There are two enthusiasm numbers in particular that I want to highlight here. African-American voters and young voters. And as you can see, remember, Democrats had a good night in 2018. And right now, African-American voters are not quite at their 2018 levels, and young voters are not quite at their 2018 levels. But look at seniors. Seniors are a little bit more. So this is why Republicans feel good about the end of this. We also asked folks to send us what message, if you could send a message with your vote to Congress, what would you say with it? And here's our word cloud response. And as you can see, fix the economy, the #1 message that was sent from voters, and essentially tied for second here, end partisanship and women's rights. So essentially the 3 big issues of the economy, abortion rights, and the democracy, all represented here, and you can see the voters are engaged on this. By the way, given what happened to Paul Pelosi, we asked voters about the current climate of political violence. Voters are now more likely to view our political rhetoric as an important contributing factor, rather than seeing what happened as some isolated incident. And when we ask who is responsible for this elevated rhetoric, social media companies come out on top, almost universally blamed for our current political climate. Cable news media nearly matches them, then Trump, then Republican officials, Democratic officials, and President Biden there at the bottom. Let's turn back now to the battle for the House, because I want to point out some key numbers here for you to keep track of. In the 7 times since the Truman era, when the president's job rating has been below 50% in his first midterm election, which is what we're staring at with this one, that president's party has lost an average of 43 House seats. And guess what? This cycle, there are 44 Democratic-held seats that are rated as lean or toss-up by the Cook Political Report, and there's just 20 Republican-held seats that are in those same categories in the House battleground. In 2018, you could see it was a much more lopsided battleground here, with the Republicans basically defending almost everything and Democrats barely defending anything. In this cycle, the defense for the Democrats includes the district where Congressman